Welcome back. She was once athletics golden girl, winning 5 medals in Sydney's Olympic Games. But this week, Marion Jones ended her career in disgrace after confessing to being a drugs cheat and lying to the FBI. After she handed back her medals, the Olympic Committee is left with the headache of who should now be awarded Marion Jones's 100-metre gold medal. So where does this leave athletics in general after another embarrassing scandal? Joining me now is Ben Johnson, who was stripped of his 100-metre world record and gold medal after the 1988 Seoul Olympics following a failed drug test. Ben, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Did this surprise you, the confession from Marion Jones? Was that a surprise, or had you expected it?
It's not really a surprise. I expected it, but again, I believe that everyone on the international level is using performance and its drugs, and you know it's a widespread, and it's going to continue going on, so to speak.
Right, and a majority, you would say, a majority of athletes do use performance-enhancing drugs, yeah?
Yes.
So that a lot of other people could be in the position now that Marion Jones is in, yeah?
Well, I believe that there's a lot more people that is going to be also coming forward in hopefully next few months from now, that the testing that they're using now is going to be more correct than in the past almost 20 years, since 1984 up until the 2000 Olympics. So you're going to see more big names that coming out very soon.
Very soon. And what do you think is the solution to this, Ben? Is it to legalize certain performance-enhancing drugs so it's legal to use them, or if you can't stop it, do you join it in that sense?
Well, I believe that the testing procedures they have right now is going to be more accurate than it ever did back in around 84, 85. You know, the testing will be more powerful, and these people that trying to mask these information, they're going to have problems. So you're going to see athletes is running 9.7 or 9.8, now he's running like maybe 10.1, you know, 10.2 in very, very soon. So where the line draw and where these athletes are going, and where everybody know athletes who been passed, who retired, who's trying to say nice things, and they were also dirty too.
Very interesting, yes. And in terms of Marion Jones coming to terms with this shock in her life, to live with this situation, what advice would you give her? You had to come through your crisis. What advice would you give her?
Well, I support her, and you know it's going to be, you know, tough times, and you know you got families and friends who's going to support her, and her life is changed now. She have to you know, go back to normal life, you know, find a job or do something to provide for her son. So it's life change. I mean, we can't run forever, but at the same time, you know, we have to move on, and this is the way that she have to move on and accept it and just go forward. We have to realize this: when we athletes train so much and so hard, when you need something to recovery, and that's where it is. And you know, you have these things in baseball, you have this in other sports, and that's where the game play, and that's where the sports system works.
And do you think the pressure on athletes now in the year 2007 is even greater than it was when you were competing? Is the pressure greater?
It's much greater now than I was competing, because there's too many prize money out there. There's $2 million of dollars in the ROC for the jackpot for the Grand Prix, and there's a lot of big sponsors with shoes companies now than in my day. In my day, there was much bigger now than then.
And what is your life at the moment, Ben? What do you do by day? What is your work at the moment?
Well, after this interview, I'm going back to bed. This is very early for me, but still. I have a daughter. I have a daughter 19 and a granddaughter 2.5 years old. So I spend time with them, and I do a little bit of coaching to a certain level. One of my athletes now is in University of Kentucky. Gavin Smelly run 20.7 and 46.9 and 10.38. So my job is done, and I want to get these black kids off the streets here in Toronto. So that's one of my jobs here, of coaching here in Toronto for the time being.
Well, that's great. And looking back on those incidents in Seoul and so on, what's your summing up thought on that? That you regret that it happened, or that you were unlucky, or what?
Well, I would say unlucky. I think a lot of people were jealous of me back in my air day, and certain people that I beat could not see me of the limelight. I accept it and I move on with my life, and no look back. I don't regret now I can't compete anymore, because when I used to train, I trained very hard. 6 days a week, 4 or 5 hours a day for 14 years. So it's a long haul. But now my life is much better. My life changed for the better, and I like myself right now.
Thank you very much indeed for joining us, Ben, and have a good sleep, since it's so early in the day as we're recording this.
Okay, thank you.
All the very best.
Yes.
Ben Johnson there. In a moment, as the US Supreme Court agrees to look at whether killing criminals by lethal injection counts as cruel and unusual punishment, I'll be discussing the death penalty with Bianca Jagger. That's after this short break.